All right, welcome back, Imola. We're gonna call it Imola, not the full sentence name. This, are you ready for fun? Go see a movie. This is the Moto configuration. Not my favorite track to begin with, and the Moto configuration. Wow, I thought Long Beach had a bad corner. This puts Long Beach to shame. I know a lot of people like this track, so it is kind of fun to drive. It just can be very frustrating. So if you have been practicing and you're using the iRacing setup, you are in for a treat. This iRacing setup is awful. Um, Big changes here. If you did watch my Hungaroring track guide, basically load that file up and we're just going to tweak it a little bit. The iRacing setup has the cambers turned up quite a bit. This track, a lot of off-camber corners, a lot of high-speed corners, and cranking that camber up is actually the opposite of what you want to do. So ride height again very high like Hungaroring. I think it's the same or maybe just a little bit higher. Minus 12 in the front, minus 11 in the back. You need the ride height because there are a lot of nasty curbs here that you don't want to go over, but you probably will. This will keep you from crashing and dying. And there are a few curbs you do want to go over that are pretty nasty, and this will keep you again from crashing and dying. Actually, there is an argument to be even with a little higher ride height. So if you do pick up a higher ride height, let me know how that works out. Damper compression in the front is turned up 2 notches. I believe that's one over the Hungaroring. Yeah, a lot of downhill braking here. Some very heavy braking into downhills. So that's just trying to keep some more weight on the back tires. Brake bias, I think I bumped that up 0.5% over Hungary. Individual thing, of course, but on the higher side of what you like to do for this track, again, a lot of downhill braking, so you want that higher than usual. Um, Spring rates, soft as they go. This track grip is there, grip, and a little more grip is needed. So soft as they go in the front and in the rear. Camber, you know I like to play around with that. So the iRacing setup I think is like a 1.5, 1.7, something like that. This is dialed way back. So left side 0.9 and right side 1. If you're new to the channel, I play around with these cambers. You don't have to do it. It is a very minimal advantage. Go with the higher setting if you do just want to keep the cambers even. Toe in 1.4, that's just to get that turn in a little better and the braking a little more efficient. Rear again, soft as they go on the springs. Cambers dialed way back again. Left side's 0.8, right side's 0.9. Right hand side's doing more of the work, so that's why it is got a little bit more to it and a little less on the left. Toe in 0.3, again just to make the braking more efficient. And we got minus 11 ride height in the back. ARB 5 mils. You need rotation in the car, some very tight corners here. 5 is there's two components to this race. The first 5 laps and the last 5 laps. The last 5 laps I would use a 10 mil for sure. The first 5 laps when the tires are not warmed up and the fuel is heavy, it is a different track. It is a lot harder to take the corners fast, and it is a lot easier to spin out. That's why I'm going with 5, but 10 definitely. If you like a little bit more oversteer, check out 10. It is got a little bit more action in the rear, but it is doable. 14 liters, that should get you to the end of the race. I don't think 13 is going to do it. And I am using a short stack. You're going to see in the video this could be a problem, but the standard stack, I find the gearing is just awful. I can't go through the corners in the gear I want to go, and the short stack, much faster lap times, but you are at the rev limit on 2 of the straights. So it could be an issue. If you are one of the faithful using a stick, you might actually want to go with the short because there is a lot less shifting with the short. The standard, you are shifting up into fourth, and then you're shifting down into first, for some corners, second for some corners. With the short stack, you're getting up into fourth, and you're usually taking a corner in third or second. First, I don't even think comes up except for the new chicane in the Moto configuration. So, yeah, if you're using a stick, try the short. It might be a compromise on the straights, but I think you'll find it easier to get through the rest of the track. All right. We'll go into the guide. It is 29 degrees, so that actually is a little bit on the lower end. I've seen it up to 32, I think. So again, that's where the ARB, if you're at a 10 and the track is even hotter than this, it's going to be a little bit of trouble. 34% usage, so not stellar. We'll go through the lap in slow-mo and then run it out at full speed. So if you're new to the track, this is going to be a big passing opportunity here. And as you can see, I'm in fourth gear. I'm at the rev limit. I still am picking up speed, but this is where the short stack is coming up a little short. So looking for the 100 board. Gonna get onto the brakes, third gear. Good blast of brakes, third gear. You want to brake early and then pick up the throttle early. You do not want to carry too much speed into this. You will compromise yourself on the exit, which will cost you a tremendous amount of time. Do not get on these black curbs. They are going to wreck you. Getting onto the red and white curb though, and this is again, if you came in too hot, you're going to be over here, and the next corner is just going to be awful. So getting it out to mid-track so you can make this next turn almost at full throttle. If I did that a little smoother, I probably would be at full throttle. And then using the exit here, using all of the curb. Prepare to get X's there though. That's an easy one to run a little wide on. And then shifting up into fourth gear as you come around the corner here, and then just drifting, letting the wheel unwind to the right. So next one, between the 1500 board, so about 75, down into third gear, medium amount of brakes. Again, just to slow the car a bit, load up the front end. You do not want to come in here too hot. It's just like the last one, you will compromise yourself on exit. Get onto the red and white. Do not touch the black ones. That is no good. Keep your car onto the left. Open this up. I turned in probably here a little early. Don't turn in quite this early. But again, getting onto the red and white and avoiding that black one. You hit that black one, you're probably going into the sand. And then just picking up the throttle as early as possible, unwinding the wheel. Now you don't want to cross the white line. Easy to get an X here. You'll get a lot of them. And then just after the 50 board here, I actually kind of use this little white notch in the track here as the marker. So just past the 50 board, I leave it in third gear. If you're drafting, you'll probably be up into fourth. Just be aware of that. It's down. It's a second-hand turn. Pretty hard on the brakes. Second gear. You need to slow the car down. If you come in here too hot, you're going to spin. And then it is a really late apex. So don't turn in too early. It will cost you a lot of time. And just releasing the brake nice and gentle, picking up the throttle nice and early. Unwinding the wheel, using all the track again. Very easy to get an X on this exit. Just keep your left-hand tire in the limits. Passing opportunity there for sure. As you can see, I'm just getting up to the rev limit here. Looking at that 50 board, just past it. A little bit of brakes, third gear, medium amount of brakes I guess. Third gear, and again, turning in earlier than you think. You don't want to actually turn in too late on this one, and just picking up the throttle, releasing that brake nice and easy, rolling in, picking up the throttle nice and early. You can lose a lot of time through this corner. It's surprising how much time you can lose. Again, you cross that white line, you get an X. Fourth gear, looking for that 50 board in real time. It looks like I'm braking at the 50 board, but just before it. Fourth gear, shifting down into third. Just a little bit of brake just to load up the front end, just to slow the car a little bit, just also not to blow your engine. Getting onto the red and white. I don't like to get onto the green there. I find that gets you into a little bit of trouble. And basically, just managing the throttle, and as soon as you get the car straightened up, shifting down into second, and a pretty good bit of brakes just to slow the car down, and then again releasing them nice and early, picking up the throttle nice and early, getting on the red and white, avoid those black ones, and watch the wheel input though. If you left it a little late and turn that wheel real hard, you are going to spin. And again, very easy to get an X on this one as well. This one, not such a good passing opportunity, but there will be people going for it, so watch out. Looking for the 50 board in fourth gear, shifting down into second, hard on the brakes, I guess just before the 50 board. Very hard on the brakes, got to slow the car down again, slow in, fast out, and kind of turning in at this light, whatever this is. Turning in nice and early, releasing the brakes. You have to be off the brakes when you go through this chicane. You have to slow the car before you're into it. If you are braking in the chicane, you are going to be crashing. Now you want to get on this curb. You do not want to be on the side of this curb. You have to be aggressive on this. If you're on the side of this curb, it is going to fling your car. But if you get up on top of this curb, you're going to go over it no problem. So getting up on top of that curb, just don't be on the throttle, or not very much on the throttle while you're going over that curb. And again, same thing, do not graze the side of this orange curb, get on top of it. And then just picking up the throttle, unwinding the wheel. You can use a lot of this green stuff. I think you can cross this line, you won't get the X. I'm not quite sure where the X comes in. I think maybe if your right hand tire goes off the green stuff onto the pavement, that's where the X is. So coming down to this one again, big passing opportunity, and again you can see this is where the short stack comes up short. I am at the rev limit and looking just past the 100 board here, or actually I'm sorry, about 75 meters between the 50 and the 100 board. Hard on the brakes, down into second gear, very hard on the brakes. You can brake a little bit later, but making that apex is going to be pretty, I can't do it. So down into second, releasing the brakes as you turn in. Again, if you are hard on the brakes at this point, you are going to spin out. And getting onto the red and white curb. You can cut this corner a little more, you can get onto this green stuff. However, that is flirting with danger, and it's a slowdown, and it is very painful. So I like to keep it on the red and white, just because that I think it's like a 1.5 second slowdown. And then using most of the track on exit here, again you got to keep the tire in the line, easy to get an X here. And then once more, still in second gear, just a little lift, just to get the car turned in, load up the front a bit. Now this one is a devil as well. If you get on the grass in front of the green stuff, I believe that is a slowdown. And again, be very careful here. I don't think there is an X here. I think you basically, if you cross the line, it's a slowdown, and it's like 1.5 seconds. Very painful. So be very careful on that one. And then on exit, just unwinding the wheel, full throttle, working up the gears. Again, very easy to get an X on this one. Actually, I don't know how I didn't get an X there. And coming into the new one, hug the right hand side. It's the fastest way through. However, if you were defending into this corner, you're probably going to die anyway, but you might want to be on the left. Looking for the 100 board, I'm actually looking at the white line just past the 100 board. Hard on the brakes, crazy hard on the brakes, down into first gear. Again, you have to have the car slowed before you turn into this one, otherwise you are in big trouble. So releasing the brakes as you turn in and cutting this as much as possible. Uh, I don't know if there's a slowdown. I haven't gotten a slowdown. I've gotten X's, but not a slowdown. But getting your left-hand tire through the pavement here, it's a little disruptive, but that ride height is gonna keep you okay. And just watch the throttle as you do that. And then again, cutting this as much as possible. Keep your tire on the track. Easy to get an X on that one. And then just watching how much throttle you put in there. You can spin the car if you stomp on it, or you'll certainly push wide and get into that sand, which is going to slow you down a whole lot. And that's the line right there. So it's basically you go through that corner, that chicane, and that is the end of the lap, the end of the race if it's the last lap. So uh, there'll be some battles there, I bet. Okay, so we'll run it out at full speed. Good luck. This is going to be an interesting one, I think. We'll see you next time.